In April 2012, the British Museum's North American collection hosted a delegation from the Inuit people of the High Arctic, organized by the Northwest Territories Literacy Council. 6 delegates made the 7,000-mile trip to the museum and spent 5 days viewing and interacting with the museum's collection of Inuit material, which numbers some 250 objects. The overall goal of the project was to have representatives from the Inuit communities engage with the collection and to collect the memories that the objects trigger. The visit to the British Museum provided Inuit the opportunity to formulate and present their own interpretation of their history and traditional skills to the wider public. These collections provide a comprehensive ethnography of the Inuit people at that period in history and are the oldest collections in the world of their type. For the Inuit delegates, this was an opportunity to awaken sleeping words which had fallen into disuse in the Inuit language through the changes their societies have experienced in the last century. For the museum, it was a chance to learn more about the collections from the people to whom they mean most. No one from the Inuit communities had ever seen the collection. In a society based on oral tradition with no written history, triggering memories, stories, songs, and sleeping language is an important part of literacy development. This project deepened our understanding of the relationship among the objects, the Inuit language, memories, stories and songs, as well as Inuit traditional skills. During the 5 days at the British Museum stores, experts and elders from the communities of Cambridge Bay and Uqauhiit were allowed not only to look at, but to handle the objects. Through this interaction with the objects, the experts and elders used their knowledge to piece together some of the language, processes, and techniques that are close to being lost. The visit was an emotional experience for the delegates. The experience of reintroducing the collections to the Inuit language for the first time in a century or more reduced many to tears.
It was really amazing to see the trees and the plants and everything, and being able to go out with just a thin sweater or a jacket, the different climate.
I thought it was really, really awesome, and I really thought that because it was such a big place, I was really expecting to find really big stores. But I had fun, going around seeing places and realizing that all the buildings are made out of brick. Going into some of the places where it's really old, and it was so awesome. I've never seen places like that, and how close everything is. And these taxi drivers can get you anywhere, and because most of the time it's a one-way street.
And the traffic people are so cranky. They don't care if they're almost bumping you. They have time to yell and curse at you. Everybody's always mad and rushing somewhere. You don't have time to, stop and say. The traffic was the worst for me. It really drove me crazy. It really makes you appreciate your home,
Space.
where you come from.
One of the things that really stood out was how to get the birds. They were called kilamit out. And, they're the things you twirl and then you throw them at the birds or the ducks and they wrap around them and then they fall. The other one was the spear that sort of had these 3 prongs in the middle. That was really awesome, but at the same time, you're wondering, what did they ever use them for and that, and how did they use them, for what purposes, for what animals, and what time of the year. Those were all the things that came to my mind every time I see a tool or something that they use. I know some of them you can use year-round. Some of them you use seasonally. and some of them you use, I think, in certain types of weather and stuff like that. All those things always came into mind as soon as I saw the artifacts or the items that we're looking at. And I think the biggest thing that came to mind was every time I saw the tools that they used and that were so much an essential part of their survival, how could they give up these things while it was their, survival gear? Maybe they thought what they got was a better bargain for it, maybe a knife or a pot or something else that they thought was more useful in trading with these items that were so awesome. Yeah.
Woohoo! Seeing through the eyes of people in 18-something.
I wish we had more time to have gotten through with a lot more elders to see what, if they recognize the tools and stuff, that were photographed. Because holy cow, all of these things that we saw are not seen or used anymore. Not a lot of them anyway. If you get the more information you get on them, the more we have to document for, the future generations. Not only for them, look at us, we're stumped with some of those items.
One of the most memorable items that I saw down there were the crimp shoes, because we had been looking for those for so long, and when we realized they were there, and we went down and we seen them on the first day. It was so emotional, being able to touch them and see them and smell them and look at exactly how do you think they were made, how do you think the pattern was made, what they were made from, and who wore these last, and knowing they came from Prince Albert Sound, people of the Large Bay used them in the time frame that my great-grandparents were around that area. And the other item was that spear with the with the tattoo markings, the designs on that shaft part where they alternate from one side to the other. With these designs right here. Those designs on that shaft, on that harpoon, some sort of harpoon. Seeing that and looking at my great-grandmother's tattoos, photos of that and matching them, the similarities, that was really touching, like powerful to see things like that, knowing where those tools came from. The copper ulus and the copper needles, those were really significant from the stories where our elders told us how far they have to go and get copper for their tools, and the stories behind the copper hunting, how they make noise for people to find it, how they say people, copper sings or copper talks, so you can hear them. Hivulipta.
Now night kutigilak pagay piu fao mignani fao mablugin napaktak pagay ngokay now night kutigilugilo tamay to litigumiali may namigin upa pifao malarome kannguyang mig napayok takunyak tat upa fao and they know that they're going to need some more of that copper material to make more tools or more ulus, and then they can see it sticking up out of the ground, and they'll know where it is, and then they can get some more material from it to make more tools.
The drum and the drum dance clothing were just so amazing to see. That drum is so old, like looking at it and touching it, wondering what kinds of songs and celebrations it went to, how many people use that drum and whose drum was it, how many stories were told through drum songs using that drum. It was so amazing to see a drum so well preserved for hundreds and hundreds of years.
And so well made, and it's still to be in that condition where we could barely keep our own drums in that condition in this day and age. And I think a lot of it was to do with the climate and what you call the moisture in the air, the coolness of everything and that. But you know, those drums, like you said, they were so significant for celebrations, for preserving song and dance, and also to make up song and dance from the experiences they had so that they could be remembered and learned by the other singers and dancers.
This is all material from the Hanbury collection.
I feel like I'm dreaming. I just got chills. Here we are starting to take a look at some of the tools that have come out. There's ulus, chisels, harpoon heads, arrowheads, needle. This is a very emotional day. Knowing that we're touching stuff that our grandparents made. It feels heavy. I assume that native copper is heavier than manufactured copper because of all the different minerals that are with it. The way that I was told, copper pushes itself out so the person could find it and use it for tools. The way I understand it, copper was considered a living being. And it sort of gives itself to you so you can use it to make tools. It's just like when we go hunting, an animal gives up its life so your family can eat and have clothing. And that's one of the things that we always tell our kids. After you go hunting and you've taken something down, you say thank you to it. So you can, for one thing that I always say when I get a muskox, I say, thank you for giving up your life so my family can eat. So it's, copper it's just like a living thing.
hivanern neanut kennegiayut nani hivattunai qangaraaluppi huaplutik nunamme kanmuiartariartoraangami kuiat haneani akeani qalriani liumannap haneani kanguiaqarvia qangaraaluppi huaraangamik tuktuhioriartorrutik kanguiartarvian
Kapihilituume uyarakhiartut nunaata ilangani tahamani kannuiaraaruit amigaadakti takuvakhimei
Kannuiaqaat.
Kanartaavtahi
Kannuiaq.
kannuiaq
kannuyan
Kiviautigitaapkua.
Mom, when she saw the picture of these scissors, she goes, "Oh, I wonder if we invented scissors too."
Kiviautiniktautuppaqqaaqtutik aasiliorunarrigamiginai.
aperiaugamikli pileuquyauplutiga aatsiliuqupplugit pipqartitaugamik kiviautinik pileuqimmal
Kimale.
kimalla
Small and big.
uluhukuna ai kimallet mikitqian
ihuaqraqimunnaariuna kimmalinnuа uvanga kimmalinnuа wow kimmaliqalianaqqigamme una kimmalilialuai kimmali
unan
niqiliqununa
The most important thing about this collection is that while it's been here for 160 years, nobody has really written about it or documented it properly. So when we work with native communities, with Inuit people, what we want to do is obtain really good information about that collection so that it can go up on the web so that it's accessible to anybody, not just Inuit and not just Inuit from Canada, but people from all over the world. Some of them don't. So these ones were collected by this man called Hanbury, who was a private explorer who went up to the central Arctic a couple of times. And in his second visit in 1902, he went along the coast and he made a collection of about 60 things, beginning with the loon cap. And he stayed with people. It was in the spring and they were still out on the ice in snow houses, and he stayed with them and he took photographs of them, but we haven't found his photographs yet. Those would be the first photographs of Inuit. So today, when people have looked at the dance clothing, when they've looked at the copper knives, the panna, and they've been able to explain what the materials are, what is wolf skin and what is fawn skin from a caribou and what is an older caribou, and what is ugruk and what is bearded seal and what is not bearded seal, and all of those things, and describe all the different parts of a parka, of an amauti for a woman. All of that information is hugely important, and it's a really vital opportunity to have elders here today to be able to do that. Otherwise we lose the information, and it's only by talking to people and doing this kind of project that the objects come alive.
These ones are kangariong miut like numiutik ukuak numiutik ivaktag atungang mik pileuchimayon hamnattau mitquyachimayo like natta imaileuchugik mechochimayain malruinangor tuk aqoak uluqqartuumi imaittuliortaartum taipahuklu orrialuk ayuviaktoq oqarrimayoq taipahummik Ilihaqome taipahuktahamanitillugu ajuiqautikpagu piliortaartuugaluarkihimi taipahuk aannialermattuulleartugun.
Anga takupsaregiganga sanilirauna takupsaregiganga anga yeyanga eyanga
Nalungatsipagtaqqut qanuq merhuutikka uuktuutikka ajuiqaleqarta qanuq ihumagiviu.
Taima tautukpohiptiktut ihumagivara ivertit piaqpaqumlugu ivertit piaqumlugu inuitakuvaktakhaat uvaptingnuinnarli ima ilihimayaptingnik havangittugut inum aallavlu takuvagakhamik havaktitaunahorrettugut kakkijapiaqaqugiatarlagu ajornarnaranu tikitpatunitjavaqa ai kakkitigiu avaiaiatu saarnersaarpakpan avallivunimmatu saarnersaarpakpan Shaningayuling mingunaqarpakkamik avallivunimmatu saarnersaarpakpan Tama piiliorpaktait nuat qatigingitatik inminnut pulaaraangamik aquivaktugaluigihusihili inunnuna taimaattoq aquigaangamik inniaraangamik pittinik atuqhimaittunik atuhaartanik atulimaitpiartut atuqhimaittuinnarnik atoqqammiungittuinnarnik atoqahoqittutingnumeqahuajuktut taimaattarpitquheqaluangit qaujiyaqaluavut uvagut tautuppaqtaqaluavut uvagut no qanuqliormiliuna
Qanuqtau hapkuat taineqartun
hapkuat taineqagiittut atiqarrinnartut kiimituattuqaliglu unatuattuqaliguvva tuattuqalinnguqqa tuattuqaliujuta uvvaqit qaniittoq tuattoq qiteqarooq hamuunattooq hamuunainnartooq imaatut meqorrimayut ilagiingualuaq qallineqalingmiktauq taigortaat kuna qallineqalingmik taigorruqaanganiittoq
We refer sleeping words to words that are not being used anymore, or you don't have the opportunity to use the words because of the modern world we live in, and we don't see or do these activities anymore. A lot of the time it's only when we're looking at traditional objects that these words come back.
Hapkuat atiqarunaqayuugaluin hapkuat naunarqaarungut unakimi nauligautapunreqapunutiyu.
So nauligaut is the term for throwing your harpoon. Damnattauq iqqat.
When the opportunity arises, we wake them up and then record them and make a note of them so that we know for what reason or what opportunity these words can be used.
So depending on which tribe or community you come from, then they either say Uqauhiit or nauligaut.
Kangariormiut hapkuat numiutiin ukuak tuattorallat qaangaruorrugit ukuat numiutigipaktain. Hapkuat qangaraaluk qaffini ukiuna qaneraarpakkapkit nalvaartain naqqatka ilama Hivulipta aannoraanu tait kangariormi. Ananatteama maamaata ingattaummiuplu ananatteanilu haluhillu taipahuklu hapkuat aannoraangu tait ikpakuhararlu higaaluk aannoraarrimayullipuksunni tautulerpaktarri pihuaraangamik Cook River mit eqqarravialummun tahamani tahapkuat ilait eqqaluktuuttia puanit pihuayullu uluqqartuurmiut kangeriuarmiut tikeqqatigigaangamik hapkuninga aannoraanik atorrutik numerpearaalutik eqqalukhiaraalutik upingaamik kinitilleraangan nuna mahattilleraangan pihuarrimmaarrutik kuugiuamut tikitkaangamik ikaarfiqartor inuqqoqartor malrunnik ikaarfianaunnaittor
Kuugiuaqqannianik kitkuummi ahiarmilunni
iya
taamna ahuraariarukkulli nunakaluanga kuugiuamit oqaraq
iya tahamna inuqqoqartor malrunnik hamanilu akianilu
Ikaartarviarni.
iya ikaartarviani ikaaraangamik toortarvani qalgiliumannaarmi tuktuiorrutik tahapkuat aannoraaliortakhatik tuktuit auyami haatqiaummatalli talva aannoraarivaktai tuktuhioraangamik hannaiarrugit taavani
Where? Ogden Bay.
They're close to this region.
Yeah.
This kind of style.
Yeah. Almost Lapland
Yeah.
style.
Hamunga mitko hamna imagine mitko hamna hamunga ai hapkunungan norai ai unahan mo ngayon na mitko no imagine
Kakinit mikivielu. Kari miqorniarrimayunnuunnarto.
Amnaattunna nattiunerriwa arikawaangamulunattippinnerrivuttunai
Qernarikto.
iya nattiilitaimaittuarikattiaraangami qernariktu
hamana hono onan wa khanuqatutikiakhani takullaga
They had their primitive tools. The museum has theirs.
Nattirtuningito haalukat hamna aho qernariktumik imaliormaanaqimamna
Qernarikpeerealukto.
kipiterrimayunarami ai
kipiterrimayunaqagamiai tuktuangaarlunga itsukattuk Kipitikham na khayukham.
Tipa matamamian. Tipa niluili tang nakako tikunaw yakait. Tipa today. Over 100 years tipa.
No, you tell you nothing.
New down
Ako ang milti na Hawaii.
Ako milk.
Ako ang milti. Tiriakang mitag mo tayo may doon.
Kaya nga, mihi yung naktukito aki mayo nakigami ay.
Taki, ako
Ako ang may tigwit.
Ayaw ka ma-ako ang milti.
Ayaw titita ko yan.
Ayaw ka ma. Kaya may yuk. Ako ang milti. Duwidit fita-fita. Oo nga ako ang milti man naman. Ay, mama.
Mary.
Ha?
Moonwalk
Unang daw numiyot. Numiyot daw unang kangayong miyot at numiyutan. Daw itong pagtakot pitsan eh. Pihuang megangamik tikiw tigangamik ikaluptut te miulo kangayong miulo. Koklok tong miulo no na mi pihuarangamik no milerangamik hapkuning nga ano ako tik alehulu kao tigiplugit. Wow. Nagyaylo tu te kangit tu te pek tu mig me.
Mechopak. No tatsa uktu tay tuming mecholi ma.
Look at their knees.
Ada kamang na imario pati ukto sa kapuno imario. Hakanok takitidang tayo imario.
They just measure with their hands.
Can
I flip it over?
Wala dito ang
Una kengo ta idagin na tatuk tumay. Kengo ta idagin na. Ano? Kengo ta idagin. Talpanaw na ito.
Cute ba? No. Must be, ah. Unit daw ham.
Nagyukawin.
Nagyukawin.
Ham na idun mugit kutino ang hidatani. Ham na. You know, ima avarit kumi idun mong niyamat amigay. Ham na idun mugit kutino ang tuatun.
I don't understand.
So the edge won't flip.
So the edge won't slip.
Curl in.
Okay.
That's why they put this one out inside. Something like kiratata.
Oh,
Kiratata.
okay, I understand.
Okay.
Bias tape mikpalukto na.
You know the way they sew them long ago. Sometimes the words get lost because we don't use them anymore because we don't have the opportunity to use the language, and so those words are disappearing. But when they put them into the language we understand today using the modern materials, that's when they come back.
This is sewn inside.
She just said it.
Ilun muhit kuta.
She said ilun muhit kuta. And then only once she said, "Ra-ta-ta," and then she was like, "Why you came English today?"
Oh, not this piece here. I want to see this one. Oh, no. Tuk.
Just trying to figure out which part of it.
Over. Kami kawe. Uwa imay tua. Tuk. Oh, no. Tayo may ikwa. Ikwa tayo nga. That's what I was wanting about. Ikwa tayo nga.
Ia. Hanna. Katiin may uhamunga. Ikwa tayo nga unutukto. Now,
I bet you they try to use one skin to make one park.
Hatu kami unataman. Ilu ito nung
Pinnakuringan.
una ubang kilo ka. Tunaw na ito. Una kilo ka.
Ilu ito.
Kilo kang meramina.
Ilanaw na ito.
Oh no, iman na.
Ilu ito.
Una pinnakutigiblo hamuna pinnaramira.
Hamuna luay.
Mekhoke may walok tahamna tahapuan iluani.
Hamuna.
Uqauhiit ay alla. Hubba.
Amigay dumiglibi.
Uva. Nahawid takun naktukimi. Natkang may hamuna ay. Hamna nakokha may hamuna. Kimi hamna.
Ilu ito hanay.
Una. Kimi hokta hamna. Nakokha may tayo.
Iya nga ihat. Koti mayon na kami ay. Koti mayon na ito. Una imay nga nuatu inman. Uwang nga koti mayon na kami.
Ilang ako uwang may
Hamna luay.
It would have been fun like this, but if they took a piece out from here, it would go
To make
like
it
that to make it
shape. Tuk amianit kakoni hamna kayo ilaktok daw himagluni hanayaw himayo kikianit daw maybe copper have a hook
kikia meron na kikia din.
Really what kind of
Kikia meron ito na ko
have a hook
habigian.
kantinak tunay.
Katinak to.
Dai ma habi katira kami gai.
Iya. Habigian mo kung
112 years old.
That says Hudson Bay.
1900.
Iglo o matakulak.
oh daw ito
You
Can you lay it flat?
ask him first
I'll hold it up this way. As you can tell, I love holding them.
Dam nagtitira kanok uvanit.
W. Hudson Bay, presented by D. Hanbury, ESQ 1900.
numno harotet enticement kablonate deine kapto numero ima akwang nyuta one more
Maybe he can start on that.
opponents
Kano, nume katigi tay ma nume katigi ni aki itu nume katigi tama
Taraanga mi tamna dunia ularaanga mi kanok litaya uvaktuk tamna tautuki mayakaloa tamna tamna numeroaraanga mi inumuk alam tamna ivalu
ani tiumidak ko pekset angit ragom nuti tako pipikset
I gotta get my camera.
Be careful, be careful.
You can.
Only you holding it?
There you go. That should be right.
I'm too small to namagi. Yakuana. Kwana, my dad too, and my granny. They're the good ones too from that. That's why I wanted to carry it and show it to my family, my kids. Make me feel good. Good. Something to take home. That's making me feel better. I feel good. There, I'm ready to go. Anwanga. Taima anwanga. Anwa.
Anwa ikayuta. Anwa
konghemya.
Oh, unataw anwa.
Duck bones look like our bird. Seal claws, seal skin.
Tahapa anwa matay anaro tay mato tay bang mag inut ko chukta anaro angata ang Pinay anwa magtay bagay koy ginang kung hang mutat anwa ngumat una kano tay bang na katay bang kay manginap kinuwang tahapko hapko ano mga kawi mga kita
Ubang kawi mga tunga angat kong magkimay karututiyami uy karang na nga time na di ka ikarututiyami angat pagkimagalwa takuyak manginap ko angat kumonip kaktaw
Nagdak or?
Nagtiyo. Kukinay.
I mean, amya, hamna. Una hamna.
Nattiray. Nattiyo wit ko kaktuk dahan. Hamna.
Namna ilitang naktukang mailanga.
Nattiray.
Natsak ugyo kumaluni.
Ugyo gumihapkuan ang iniyang
Hat pandato hat pandama.
Nattiyo yukli hatkuan hauni. Nattiyo blukukin. Iya.
Hapko ke micam. Ping micam.
Hauni ta.
Ting miam.
Iya.
Tingmianauni kakka. Aukua akhatkudi ihagoini.
Duck bones,
Duck bones and
seal
Oh,
claws,
rabbit.
seal skin. I'd say maybe a ritual to go with the animals that you're around, like probably to do with the marine mammal, this one. My brother-in-law and I have been trying to figure out how to make these.
16?
Yeah.
Unak kita kamayo gamigay.
So one of the first.
Diyo habak tunga. Nagiyo, uming mam nagiyo ining. Uming mam nagiyo ining. Pidikiriw na kahamon, kupot kangamkin. Kano kada. Unak kita ko okok man mehukim mako piktik pagay unak kangat. Tayo matuwa waktu nga. Oh.
The length of the bow is what? Right to here. It's 134.
Darba margo himayo. Imatun margo himayo. Imatun piglu ataw hamon. Imay diyo kangat ataw tumutay may didang mata. Tayo may diyo kataktu ma.
Kan peretito.
Kipin na huwitaw, kipikangam tayo. Iwaro panay. Imuraya kangap ti. Pero blugin imatod or kahit takawit pidak pagtawad imurangin na pagtutama tayo mali ka man nakiray. Kila. Tama ito. Imay diti ka pukima. Kasi ka pukima ko na.
Ang uniyak to at kanawit timi piyuti kapdok.
Una ubo nga iduito kita. Ubo na. Kakata titi imay di ngayon kami ay. Una kihim idudla uy kakata titi ito.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I gotta go caribou hunting to get nagyuk.
Una na pinakatakimayo.
Tuktum nagyun eh.
Tuktum nagyun. Imay di ngayon. Kipuk di ngayon kami ay. Kipuk di ngayon na kami manay.
Atak hamang nito ko na ang nalo na ito ko atak hamang na
Hanap kaktitaw
Tako. Ham na ato kamayo na kami mayak to ham na. Kako nga dito ham na ato kamayo kami mayak to yukay. Ato kameo to kalena nai tunai ane.
Iya.
Nangat ko tanin sa may hibuapi yung manang biblo.
Iya.
Tahamatay may tuyo na kali. Unan na pinakatakimayo.
Tuptum na Brunei.
Tuptum na hiyoy. But this is different.
Ia, una ikadukyo ko tiyaw nginami ay aho alamik dahil tsaka ko
Kaya
nakakaya.
alam mo tayo takakpandayo.
Dahil,
Ekarukyo tong nam timyak tong.
We're looking at these spears and we could not figure out why the spear had barbs here out in the middle. And then when somebody just a few minutes ago explained what they were for, I just realized why there's these barbs in the middle in case they miss the bird. Probably with the front part of the spear, they have a chance in the middle to catch it.
Na waktu dia awya mi chudai muhan, na awya kimi tukut September ko ang doni akasing ko ang doni talpatwa.
Later on, maybe towards the fall, we're thinking they pick them. So when they pick them, the inside of the willows is not so liquidy and causes it not to warp as much.
Uke akanganay. Now they have to do it takpadlay with you. Ay. Ikut tirain mata. Ikut langlung mata.
oftentimes the Inuit would travel to a place where they have the willows. So I remember one of the elders often would travel to Tuppaaqtauffaaqtut area to pick up willows and then travel back to the community.
And one of the reasons why there's certain times of the year you go pick them is when they're drier. I'm surprised there's bears here yet. I'm just surprised that the ladies never picked this part clean yet. It's a tough life. We're at Uqauhiit, so we could check out some willows. Just like down south when the leaves start turning green or yellow and falling off. It's when they lose most of their moisture or more of their moisture. Might be good to get some with a lot of moisture in them too for flexibility. Oh, that's it. It's tasty. I'll probably dry this stuff up for maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, see how it is after a while. It's got a nice, not too bad bend to it.
So when you talk about drying them, how will you dry it? Indoors?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my furnace room. I think that should be enough. I'll compare this one to a later fall one and I'll let you know. We had about 10 participants, both male and female, that were interested to come up and try to learn how to make the cable back traditional bows that we've seen in a museum in England. And we had about 15 maybe. And we made the wooden longbows with the braided sinew, and made some arrows with the ones that I made have copper and caribou antler, as close as possible as I can make them to what we saw in England at the British Museum. I got to use it on muskox. This arrow still has the blood on it, and this arrow went into muskox. One out of caribou antler and one with copper. And on the third shot, when I was going to put the third arrow into the muskox, I heard the limb crack, so I can't really use his bow anymore. But I got to say I used it enough. Got to hit a muskox with it.
We're so thankful for partnerships, for having us go down to Britain to look at these items. It took a lot of years of planning and putting things together. NWT Literacy Council, ICRC, the museum in Britain, working so hard to get the crew from Uqauhiit, ICS, and Literacy Council, the professor from Lethbridge, getting us all down there to go through the items. I'm so thankful for all the work and support they gave us to get us there.
Awaya tu sang sakpakpan, awalivuni matu sang sakpakpan. Awaya ya 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 ya. Shaninga yuling minung nakakpakamig. Awalivuni matu sang sakpakpan. Awaya ya 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 ya.